firm technique. Remember also that to deliver the technique, it's not just about strength, it's about using that breathing, okay? The focus, the relaxation, but your intention is the biggest thing, because your energy follows your thought, okay? When we went on to the point selection, if you remember, I said about one of my favourite points that I like to go for is just off the side of the clavicle, okay? So on mark, basically, if you look at the notch, okay, at the side of the clavicle, if you remember, we talked about the point, stating that a lot of people can take this sort of pressure, pressing straight in, all right? You can train against that, particularly when you do the iron shirt, which is another training method, okay? Also, people can take the point on top of the clavicle, all right? Because again, different people's muscle structures, etc., they might be able to take that. But on the side of the clavicle, there's no muscle. You're actually going in, around, and hooking behind the clavicle. If you remember back in module 2, on the one where we did point selection, I demonstrated on Gary the same point, just illustrating the function, if you like, of that point. And what we're doing now is putting it into a street application. Okay. So again, remembering, straight into the point, you would press in with the fingers relatively firmly to get enough depth to come back against the collarbone. So in effect, your fingers are going in, behind the collarbone, hooking back. Okay. I'm going to break the technique down a little bit now, explain a little bit about it from both angles, and I'll explain why we do certain things, okay, within the technique, and then obviously we'll do it properly. All right. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to deal with a strangle. So if Mark strangles me, okay, so first of all you can see he's obviously got, he's got a good grip, okay, his hands are well and truly around my neck, all right. What I'm going to do for the minute, just to illustrate, okay, so you can see the point, I'm going to get Mark just to drop this arm, although when we do it, we're doing a two-handed strangle. So at the moment, if you just drop the line for a second, okay, he's got this other hand on here. I'm just doing this so you can see the technique, all right, and then like I said, we'll go back to two-handed strangle shortly. If I were just to stick my fingers in that point and press and hook back, if you notice the person will back up, okay, so Mark will back up. It's uncomfortable and he wants to move away from the pain because it's uncomfortable, all right. Even if they were grabbing and pulling you close in, which is likely to what they're going to do, okay, you press here, they'll back up. But what I want to do is I don't want him to back up, because if he just backs up, we're still in a fight, okay. He could potentially just back up and then move back in and hit me, all right. So what you want to do is, if you're already holding them, you want to take advantage of that. And you might think it's a bit you're at a disadvantage, should I say, if somebody's got their hands around your neck. It doesn't have to be that way, okay. So Mark's grabbing around the neck. What you're going to do is you're going to control one arm, all right? So you're going to control with one, and the other hand will go and find the point, okay? The reason you do that is because when you press on the point, you can now control the direction he's going to go in, all right? Because otherwise, it'll back up. And I want to control where he falls, how he falls, which then will dictate how I choose to follow up, okay? So the first primary thing is to obviously get him off your neck, all right? Because if they've got a good grip, and I know Mark has, okay, if he starts strangling me, I don't want that on my neck for very long, okay? And once he's off you and he's on the floor, the follow-up strike is then whatever you would choose, okay? But the important thing of this technique is to move the person off you, all right, to get them away from you. Okay, you can obviously follow up with other various strikes that you can do with the palm strikes and things, but we're going to deal with the impactive side shortly, all right? I just want to give you a little illustration, obviously, with the fingertips this time. So Mark's going to grab me. So you cover one arm, other finger's going to press straight in. Okay, so that's quite uncomfortable to start with, all right? So you hook the fingers behind, pull toward you, and as you pull down, so just drop this one a second. As you pull down here, this is just giving them direction, it's just guiding where they're going to fall. So you press in here, touch here, and take down. Once they're down, it's up to you where you want to go with it. You can palm strike again, okay? If you've got the arm here, you've got a nice little break going on here if you choose to do that, okay? But once they're down, you know, you basically got this technique. And just an interesting one, when we talk about you've got the break here, okay, although we haven't really covered on joint breaking and things, but just an illustration. Look at the technique, it's against my thigh, all right? This is here, and if you look, obviously I'm pressing, but if I wanted to go for a break, I wouldn't just press. What I'd do is do like you do on the iron palm training, okay? First module, first CD, relax. How we drop the hand on the iron palm bag, okay? It would be here, and it will be through, and just take the elbow right out, okay? So we're not going to necessarily cover that now. Let's just give you an explanation, because that's how Mark fell. So we're going to show you again, then show you from the opposite angle, and then I'll do it, okay, at proper speed. Okay, thank you. So one more time, we'll do it with a single arm, just so you can see, okay? So from here in, you drive into the target, so you would thrust the fingers in, okay? Again, that might do it in itself, but we're going in and hook back. And as you hook back, they'll fall. Depending how they fall and where they fall, it might be that I come into here and shuffling and palm strike here, all right? Elbow, again, is there. If it's exposed, just and take that elbow out, all right? Because let's face it, if somebody's strangling you, they may need to do some damage, okay? It's not like somebody just throwing a punch, all right? If somebody's strangling you, they may need to cause you some serious harm. So that could very well be justified, okay? Show you from the opposite angle. So again, the strangling, thrust the fingers in. It's okay, we'll do it on this side this time. Just drop this arm again. So you can see from the opposite side. This is controlling the arm. And it's controlling about, remember we talked in the points DVD, lung 5. Right in the crease of the elbow. So you can place your hand there, or if you choose, you can curl your fingers into there, and that'll give them some movement as well. So this combined with this, it's your choice. Either rest your hand there, that works, or if you want to add that extra grip, dig in and touch here. Press in, hook behind, that and that, send them down. Strike if you need to do, arm if you need to do, okay, and you've got the technique, all right? So, I'll take it back to here, and we'll do it with both hands strangling this time. Okay, so people are either going to grab this way, or they might even pull you in close, obviously to come with headbutt and something like that. Interestingly, if they grab you and strangle you, and they want to headbutt you, jabbing the fingers in here will prevent that. Okay? Okay, so that's another thing to think about. If they're grabbing you, and it's not the neck, for example, if somebody grabs you, they're going to do something, all right? They're either going to continue with the strangle and headbutt, or whatever. This works equally as well, whether they're grabbing your jacket, whether they're grabbing your neck, but I've chosen the one with the strangle because obviously it's a more serious attack. So they grab in, they're grabbing in, okay, put the pressure on, put it on, okay, touch, okay, snap, okay, here. Just happened that the knee fell on the neck. Obviously a real situation, who knows how it's going to go, all right? But the good thing with that is the knee controls the head. What you would do in reality, of course, which you don't want to do to Mark, is that would slam in, all right? You would gouge it straight in, then hook behind, all right? Just a quick one with this one as well. If the person was, if you were behind, and Mark's quite tall, obviously, but if I was behind, let's say Mark was attacking another person, something like that, from here, you can stomp a little bit, get your thumb into the point, and drive it in, and that will also take them down as well. Okay? Here, palm strike again is another option. All right? Notice I use my knee just to control the person, just to follow them, because I don't want to have to lean down. So I use this movement so I can deliver the palm strike. Okay, so just to review, straight in, corner of the clavicle, hook behind, okay? Okay, with that technique, as you notice, we use the fingers, particularly the sword fingers that we talked about earlier, okay? Remember in the first module we did conditioning of the hand and conditioning of the fingers, all right? What would happen, let's just say, in the stress of a situation that you missed the target, you hit bone with those fingers. If they weren't conditioned, yeah, potentially going to hurt your fingers, aren't you? All right, so the conditioning is important for that. Okay, although hopefully if you train enough, you're going to get that right. Secondly, when you thrust in, you're pushing in with the fingers. Like I say, I mean, Mark's obviously a very strong chap. You push in, he's got a very muscly neck. Okay, if you hit a strong muscle structure and you don't have strong fingers, your fingers are going to collapse. So you're not going to make that work. So you need to go strong fingers, strong sword fingers, which we train in the first module, straight into the target, okay, and then you want to hook behind, all right? And again, with the whole point of training the iron palm is not only so you condition it to make your fingers strong, okay, it's so that you can deliver penetrating strikes into targets. And again, remember what we talked about before about respect for your training partner, not causing them any injuries, okay? Again, if you've got strong fingers and you've trained this right, you can cause a tremendous amount of damage. Okay, especially when you're prodding in the throat where it's softer, more vulnerable area. But that point on the corner of the clavicle is incredibly painful. Okay, and again, practice safely. Train your iron palm. You'll have a much better effect with that technique if you train your fingers to make them strong. Okay, but again, remember, always take it easy with your training partner because it's their go next. All right, you hurt them, they're probably going to do the same to you. All right, so just be careful with that. Okay, so train hard. Find the point, find it on yourself first if you're unsure. Just remember, just place the fingers in the centre, hook it to the corner of the clavicle, press in and pull back toward yourself. You'll probably find and give loose before it starts hurting too much, all right? But your training partner doesn't have that option, Okay, so take it easy, learn the technique, and make it work for you.